Hey everyone, PJ Phil here. Do you hear that? Birds, we're coming to you from outside today. And yes, you see those? Garbage cans. And that's what you get when your backyard is here in these mean streets. It's dangerous out here, let me tell you. Anyways, it's episode 5, but first, let's talk about episode 4. Episode 4 was huge. Thank you guys so much. I've been thanking you all week, but I just want to keep saying thank you to the fans of this show and the fans of the 90s and fans of YTV from way back when. And although I've done other things, hey, you know why I'm here, and I know why I'm here. It's PJ Phil. Can't get rid of him. I've been trying to. He won't go away. And now I'm embracing it. I'm accepting it. For you guys, I will hold on to it. So this episode is actually pretty special. Believe it or not, PJ Phil's Last Stand has archives. Yes, we have a vault. And we pulled this interview from a vault. Why? Because PJ Phil's Last Stand is trying to be about good conversations. And I had a great conversation with this gentleman. His name is Harvey Guillen. He's a big deal right now. He's on Broadway for the Rocky Horror's Picture Show. Was I going to say Last Picture Show? I'm a confused old man. We're going to call it From the Vault, because it's the vault, but today From the Vault will be an interview with Harvey Guillen. And at the time, he was on the show What We Do in the Shadows, and we shot it at a haunted house. So very fitting. And he's a big name, if you guys are into that. PJ Phil. Hey, listen, thanks so much again for tuning in, for making the show what it is. We're all in this together. We're growing it together. Because honestly, that's me and one other person, my good buddy, Claude Barnes. And it's just us. It's just us. And you, of course. Us behind the scenes, but you don't see what we do. Well, you see the fruits of all we do, but of all what we do, you are a part, but you're not there. You don't see it. Okay, so you are there physically. No, you're not there physically. But okay, this is episode 5, From the Vault, my interview with big star Harvey Guillen. All right, now if you are a fan of the vampire genre and of comedy, you probably know What We Do in the Shadows, that amazing series. And if you watch the first episode, this beautiful face pops up. And it's our buddy right here, Harvey Guillen. How are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
When you walked in, I was like, it's him.
You're familiar with my face.
It's him.
It's him, it's that guy.
There he is, it's him.
There he is, in the flesh. I like the way you use familiar. If you're not familiar with the familiar, then here I am.
And what is a familiar in the show?
In the show, familiar is someone who knows the vampire's secrets and needs to keep those secrets and protect them at all costs. In return for their services, there's hope that one day they themselves will be turned into a vampire. So there are familiars that have been doing the job for 70 years, but remember, when you get turned into a vampire, you stay in that moment forever. So what good is becoming a vampire at the age of 86 if you're no longer young, energetic, and
all right.
So you kind of want to become a vampire earlier in the game. And so when time's going by, especially with Guillermo, time's really going by fast, and they're not recognizing it because after episode 1, he's been working for 10 years and he thinks he's going to become a vampire. And in his head, my master's head, he thinks it's been like a year. Because what time, what's time to a vampire? They have no recollection of time. So I was like, really? 10 years? I was like, yes, I've been working for 10 years. And he's like, ugh. Wow.
You're too old.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, that's weird. And it's like, I thought it was 1 year. Anyways, good night. And then it's just the idea that people are not taking you seriously. You devoted a decade of your life, and they think that's only been a year. That's not good. That's in any business. If you work for a company and you think you're getting a promotion after 10 years and they think you've only been there for like a couple months, that's not good the way they're seeing you. So the way that someone perceives you is very important when it comes to being a familiar.
You are an actor. Would I be a good familiar or a good master?
I don't know. I mean, do you like taking orders?
Can I tell you something?
See, you don't like taking orders because you're asking a question.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you'd be a better master. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was already onto my next
already
move
decided on
before what you said.
Yeah, you'd be a good master.
I actually auditioned for a small part in What We Do in the Shadows.
You did?
Yeah, it was loved. It was Loved Up Guy. And I don't know if I ever saw it. It was a guy in a club.
Oh, yes, that's when Nick Kroll comes to town and they go Manhattan nightclub.
Yeah, so it was back in November. I'm still waiting to hear.
Oh, they don't know they'll let you know. I'm sure
Oh, the acting life, right?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I was just thinking about the way I booked this role is so like non-traditional but very Hollywood.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't decide to study. I went and had wine and cheese.
Okay, but I studied before. Like I grew up doing musical theater. It really is like being at the right place at the right time with that scenario. I just went to wine and cheese night and
it's discipline, weird. But look, obviously sometimes it's not disciplined. It's luck meets timing meets
and you got to be ready,
preparedness.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Always be prepared.
Always be prepared.
Tiffany Haddish says, she ready, because it's like I feel like you have to be like when the door opens, you can't say, oh, 1 second, I got to grab it. No, it's like the door opens and you have to go. Like you have to be ready to go at any moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Hollywood for a bit. I always found you always want to say yes.
Yeah. I think so too.
What that door you're talking about is like, we're going to the next party. You could come.
Yeah.
And when you say no, the adventure stops.
Yeah, I feel like but after a while you do get tired. I almost didn't go to the wine and cheese night just because I was so like exhausted. And people think, oh, I always see you at parties and you're always like socializing. And I was like, that's work. You know what I mean? Like I left to have a good time. It's part of it. And
partying's part of it.
It's networking. It's networking. And so like I feel whenever people say, oh, you're having the best time at a party, I was like, I would say 90% of that was work.
Because you don't always want to go.
No, and sometimes you're just going because you have a friend who's going. It's a friend's event or whatnot, but you never know who you're going to meet. And it's kind of, turned out to be what it is. It's like, here I am after.
So for those who don't know, and that must be impossible, it's such a great show, what is
What We Do in the Shadows? Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows is a TV show that's based off the film by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clements. It's a comedy that follows a group of vampires who are roommates with each other. They have a familiar, and that is me on the familiar, on their everyday life living in Staten Island, which is hilarious. We have visitors. We have everyday problems of grocery shopping, how to pay for things, just stuff like that. So you have to watch it. It's out on DVD now. So if you want to watch the complete first season, you can watch it, What We Do in the Shadows.
Great writing.
It's amazing. The writers are incredible.
It's that hilarious thing where they probably sold it to you as someone who wanted a part, like just that vampire Staten Island. So that's already right.
Yeah,
so
they're like, think The Office with like vampires in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So it's a great show. We have great cameos in season 1. Nick Kroll, Vanessa Bayer, the list goes
Nick's
on and
a pro.
on. Yeah, we have Tilda Swinton's in it. Danny Trejo. We have so many people.
You're telling all your friends, I'm Danny Trejo.
I work with Danny. The last time I worked with Danny Trejo was in Canada as well. So there you go.
And we're doing this here in lovely Martino Manor. Do you like what we did for you? Our setup?
You guys build this whole set just for moi? No, it looks cool. It's so funny to walk through because you guys did such a great job. Like literally the walls and just chandelier and the couch, it just looks so cool. It really does set the tone. Like when I walk on stage for Guillermo, I just fall into him. You know what I mean? It was weird walking in here right now, even though, we're walking into an interview, I couldn't resist to fall back into a little bit of Guillermo. I was like, oh my God, it's because I felt like I was on the set.
Let's improv something. No. That's why I didn't get that other job.
I was guessing you're a vampire because if not.
That's right? They do that, right? I don't know.
I haven't really seen a scene that we've done like that so far, but maybe this season.
I'd love to go to an audition and do just like that.
You're auditioning for the waiter.
Interview for a Vampire 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's one of my favorite movies.
Like, oh.
I do love that movie.
What are the weird things you figured out on this show that, I think this is why this is working?
Yeah, I think that Julia Allison Jones did the casting for the pilot, and Allison did such a great job that I can't imagine this cast being played by anyone else. Like, it really did come down to the casting and the chemistry and the energy that everyone brings. Like, you know, Kayvon being opposite of me as my master, and he's so hilarious, like the funniest person ever. That he's so generous too. You know, the way we bounce off each other. And then we have Matt Berry, you know, from the UK, and we have Mark, we have Natasha. Like, everyone is so great at their character that there's no way the show would work unless this like energy and chemistry was so well balanced.
It's that Hollywood magic.
It's that Hollywood magic.
It's like Big Lebowski. It's like if one actor hadn't been available, like it was all these things like coming together. Yeah. And at the time too, like that has a lot to do with it. It was the perfect timing.
Like, I came in at the last minute and swooped it. Like, and especially Guillermo was written 20 years older, and I was too young for the role. And so like I would have never gone in traditionally to audition for Guillermo. The fact that I went to Wine and Cheese Night and got like, you know, a complimentary audition because someone at the party was the fiance to Garrett Bash, who's a producer on this, with Scott Rudin. Like, it was just everything happened for a reason. Like, every little piece just worked together. It just happens. That's Hollywood, baby.
So watching it, I don't know, the first time you saw it, God, your face is like on the first thing you see.
Yeah, that's the first thing you see, and then the last thing you see in the season 1 finale. Right. We have a spoiler if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a twist.
Yeah, it's a bit twist. And
that's crazy.
They're doing a great job. Like, literally,
when did you know it was going to end like
Not till the table read. Like, they're so secretive with the information that they won't give us anything until you are showing up, which keeps us on our toes, actually. And we cross-shoot, which means that we don't shoot in order. So, like, last season for, like, episode 1, 2, and 3, we didn't shoot in that order. We would shoot, like, episode 2, episode 6, episode 9, episode 4.
Is that hard?
It
because
is hard. Because the character
gone
like,
through
what's going on?
Gone through some stuff, though, right?
And we didn't shoot the last episode till the last, like, that was the last episode we shot, episode 10. And so when we got to episode 10, I was all over the place, like, I know
what have I gone through?
Right, and then it keeps you on your toes, so you're always fresh. Like, you're just alert. You don't phone anything in. You don't, there's no way. There's no way you can phone in anything in the show because you have to be on your toes and alert all the time.
Maybe that's it too.
That's what it is. Maybe. I think it really is.
There's that energy that it creates.
Not that I would ever phone anything. I'm so like a theater kid that it has to be like, like the work has to be done and stuff. That it's just great the way that ended it. No one had a twist. Even I think Stephanie Robinson, one of the producers and writers on it, was saying they didn't know what was really going to happen until they were talking about it and it got towards the end of the season finale. And they're like, wait a minute, what if? And it became a thing. You know what I mean? It was just a conversation. It developed as the season was shooting. And by the end, they were like, wait, what if we did this? And that's how it came to be.
Was there any expectation when you first started
No,
or did you have any idea that it would go the way it did?
I had no idea. I really didn't know if they were going. His wish is to become a vampire, so I didn't know if they were going to do this in season 1 or they're going to do season 2. Like, I didn't know and had no expectations because I was like, well, where's the story going to go? And so when we got to episode 10 and found out what he is and what's in his blood and his lineage and the whole Van Helsing storyline, like, you're just like, whoa, that is going to cause a huge, internal conflict with him because of his loyalty to, the vampires in the house and especially his master, and then his actual destiny in life. Can you imagine wanting to be something so bad that you protect your whole life, but you are actually meant to destroy it? Like, this is like a term, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a tug of war kind of thing. And so for me as an actor, that was great and such a great gift that they gave me.
So how familiar were you with the movie, actually? Did you watch the movie before you auditioned?
I had not seen the movie. It was actually, this is what's really creepy. It's that it was on my queue on Amazon to watch. It's like recommended for you. My friends had recommended it and I was like, oh, it's on my line to watch.
It pushed itself all the way up.
Well, it was up like next. Yeah. And that was the night that I got a call to go to Wine and Cheese Night. Like, I'm kidding you. Like, I mean, just like this, you can't make this up because the universe works in mysterious ways. Like, I didn't watch the movie and I went to the Wine and Cheese Night, then came home and I was like, I have to watch the movie. And then I decided not to watch it because I didn't want to be influenced by the movie because I had the audition, like then I got the text and they were like, so I was like, I'm not going to watch it. So I didn't watch it, went to the audition with my own ideas of what Guillermo was, not knowing that he might or may not exist in the movie. I wasn't sure if it was the same, like,
Did you know it was kind of like
it was the same idea,
style, like The Office
mockumentary, and I knew that, but I didn't want to be influenced by anything that I saw because it's hard for a performer to see something and be like, oh, they're going to expect to see that. So I tried not to, and it worked out. So,
Yeah, did like on the actual audition, did it help? Like,
yeah, I think it was
there was
one
a
of those,
reaction.
There was a when I thought, Guillermo, because he was 20 years older, so I tried to make him as mature as I could and very like quiet, and he's very endearing. His voice is always not that, it never goes to a certain level. And glasses, I put on these like Harry Potter round glasses, popped out the glass out of them, wore this like nasty sweater vest and long sleeve, and I was like, I have to make myself like I've been working, and I don't really care about like what's going on. I parted my hair in the middle and fluffed it up really big, and what I wore to the audition. I remember after I booked it, Taika was in the makeup and hair room, and he was like,
he's fine.
Yeah, he was just like, he's like, what'd you do for the audition? That thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I did this and that, and then he's like, yeah, do that. So they went out and replicated the clothes I wore for the audition, and so Guillermo was like, when you see him wear like that kind of style, it's loosely based on kind of what we presented in the pilot because of the audition. Thanks to Taika and Jermaine, yeah.
So when you get sick of acting, you could do wardrobe.
Yeah.
What's your next?
No, I can't do it because now, like, Amanda's our wardrobe designer, and she's like a costume designer. She's amazing. Like, I can't do what she does because she's so detailed with the character. If you look closely in the clothing that we wear throughout the season with like characters like Guillermo, and the evolution of it, smallest detail, like
a lot
where
of thought.
Where he
Like
starts with like dark tones and browns, and then he gets a touch of blue in episode 3, and then a little bit more. So like as we're progressing, she knows the storyline. He slowly starts to like become comfortable in his own skin, and the color palette changes. It's so subtle that you really have to look at it, but she does an amazing job.
How'd you learn that? You had got a conversation
I talked to her about it. Because
when
when we have fittings and we're like, and she's, I'm thinking this for episode 3, I'm thinking this for episode 4, and we try it out, and I look at the colors, I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And then when you see it all in the rack, you see it, you're like, oh.
It changes.
Oh, I see it. And it's like, it's happening. And it's like, oh. And then when we get to the finale, it's like, oh, wow. And then, and now going forward with the new season, there's going to be also slight changes that you'll see. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. It's a job that's really hard. And people think it's so easy. Like, I just put them in whatever. It's like, no, they do an amazing job down to hair, makeup, everyone in the team.
That's because you're working with real pros.
With real pros. Yeah. I'm working with pros now.
Yeah, you're working with pros. You know those indie films? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
He's fine.
Yeah, he can wear this potato sack. And so like he brought his own clothes. Potato sack. I found it.
You use his shoes.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, those days.
Let's wind it back. Let's say, when was the first time, or what sparked you to say, you know what, I want to do that?
Okay, so the first time it was funny. The first time I wanted to be an actor, I was watching Annie on TV, and I thought it was a TV show because we were a low-income immigrant family, and I thought whatever played on the TV was a movie. And I was just like, that's the
whatever
TV
was
show.
on the antenna.
Yeah, and I was like,
7 channels.
And I was just like, that's the cool new TV show, Annie. But it was a movie that was playing during Christmas time. And
KTLA.
Yeah, it was. I think it was KTLA actually in LA. Yeah. And then I was just playing in the Christmas like loop. And I remember looking at these kids who were, cleaning, and like Annie and her friends. And I was like, Mom. I looked over at my mom, who was a single mom, immigrant, and I was like, I want to be that. I want to be like them. I want to be an orphan. And she looked at me and she said, ¿Qué? And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I want to be what they're doing. I was like, no, mijo, they're actors. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I want to be. I want to be an actor then.
Wait, how old were you?
I was 6 years old.
6 years old. And so no understand, like, yeah.
No, I had no understanding because that.
But you knew.
But because I feel like looking at it now, we weren't introduced into like musical theater or like live performances. That wasn't part of like my Mexican culture. It wasn't like you went to see live theater. You didn't go to the opera. You know what I mean? And that's why.
What did your parents think? Wanted you like?
They wanted me to be a lawyer and a doctor. Yeah. And so I remember asking my mom, because I found out that the local YMCA had a improv class for like $12.50, and I asked her for the money. She goes, "Mijo, no tenemos dinero. We have no money for that." And I was like, "Well, if I get the money, can I do it?" I'm 6 years old. She goes, "Mijo, if you can get the money, you can do whatever you want in this world." And I was like, "Really?" And
how'd you get the money?
Exactly. So I was walking home from school, and I saw this homeless man going through a trash can. I was like, "What is he doing, Mom?" He's like, "Oh, vende los botes." He recycled. And I went to her closet, got a wire hanger, started collecting cans, got enough money. Took me 4 weeks to raise the money for 1 hour and a half class. And after I did it, I was like, do I want to do this? It took me 4 weeks. This is gross and disgusting. But I had such a crackle of doing this, entertaining people. I never looked back.
So now you're like, I deserve to be here.
No, I don't have like this like I deserve thing, because everyone, I always feel it's funny. My friend Jessie, she always says that her favorite thing to say is overnight success takes a lifetime. So when people think it's work. So when people think like right now this is great, the show's on, and people are like, I just saw you. I was just out right now, and I was sitting, and this gentleman was next to me for 20 minutes, and I was drinking a coffee, and then like he eventually leaned over and he was like, "Excuse me, are you Harvey?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's all like, such a great. And I was like,
Really?
what? I'm in I'm in Canada, and I don't know if people are watching the show here, but like that never gets old because that you're still just just building blocks to the next level. There's never an end game.
How are you with that?
I think
With strangers coming up to you,
Yeah.
half of you is like, because unfortunately, like, we don't get report cards.
Right.
Like doing acting or this kind of,
Right.
you're sort of graded on, you are great, you are,
Right.
I know who you are,
Yeah.
like that. And it creates this weird sense of like,
yeah,
I always trying to check myself to not want it.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to do it for like accolade or like an award or anything
No.
or recognition because I think it comes in waves. Like I think when you're on a hot show or your show just aired, it's always when I've just done something that people seem to recognize you. It's when you have a dry spell that
Yeah.
people forget that you've been doing all this stuff for a while, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's that guy. But it's always weird. I never get used to it. It's like when I was walking in Times Square after I think it was my first series ever, and walked by these girls and a guy, and the girls went, "Oh my god!" I was like, "What?" And they're in Times Square. It's like you probably don't want to scream in Times Square. It's just not the time. And I was just like, "Oh, what's happening?" She's like, "You're Harvey," and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, thank you."
So it still hasn't clicked in.
No, I don't think it will. I think that's good because I feel like I'm just always focusing on the work, and then if along the way someone's like poke, it's like I'm really big. Oh, thank you. It's a nice surprise, but I'm always just focusing.
Yeah. Do you find as you keep going up and up because you're successful? That
Thank you.
Success redefines itself. I think for you every time you. I mean,
Yeah, it's a different form of it every time.
because you
I feel
did a
like,
film,
right?
and then you did.
I think
it's a series now. It's a successful series,
Right,
and now you're
goal.
being singled out as one of the things that is one of the
thank
best
you.
parts of the show. Like
Well,
honestly, though.
I'll take it. Thanks.
Yeah,
I feel like every
haven't
time.
you been in a room and when you're on, they're laughing. Like like.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird because if I look at my dreams, like when I was little, obviously my whole dream was to like perform, and I did that while I was in high school. I was doing a musical, right? And so that could have been it. I could have been like, I did it, right? And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do TV and film, and I get a first series regular, out of school, and I was like, wow, I did it. That's it, right? And so you can stop there, but it's never that. It's like once you hit that goal, you're surprised what the next level is because you're like, and now I want to try this, and now I want to try that. So there's never an end game. Like you just keep going and building. Like now with producing and writing with my writing partner, like there's all these elements and hats that I've like put on that I never thought I would.
Yeah, so it's about learning.
Yeah.
I wish I invested in Freedom 55. It just sounded dumb at the time. Hey, you're back. All right, if you're here, that means you're tuning into our YouTube channel, PJ Phil's Last Stand, where you get the straight skinny. I don't even know what that means. The straight skinny on all things private, underground, stuff you don't know about me, the most bookable guest who's always available. Hey man, this show's about me. Listen, it's time for What's in the Box. What's in the box? Brad Pitt. Everybody has a box in their basement full of junk. So let's go through my box. Okay, look at this. Oh, I remember this. Okay, this was like a card I had done at the very first time I went to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. And we went for the anti-gravity room. You remember that show? Do you remember the anti-gravity room? Yeah. Oh, look how tanned I am. Anyways, I remember this. Actually, and it's so funny. One of my first interviews was with The Ultimate Warrior, and at the time I wasn't into wrestling. Had I known that years later at 51, I'd be wrestling training and wrestling and taking it to the limits of what my body could tolerate. But that's another story. The anti-gravity room, man, what a show, what a show. That afforded me, the people I met. I remember on this trip, I actually interviewed The Ultimate Warrior and a couple of people from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was the redhead girl and Nick. My memory. But yeah, that was great. Oh, we got to go to so many Comic-Cons. And you know what? I'll tell you, the Anti-Gravity Room is a beautiful archive of comic book culture. Now we're talking about 30 years ago. And at the time you were shooting it, who's gonna watch this? I hope people watch this. I look back at it. Thank God for everybody that ever uploaded on YouTube, by the way, episodes of the Anti-Gravity Room. Because like this is archive footage of comic culture. And I remember, and I will tell you this, during this time, Comic-Con time in the 90s, there were no TV cameras at that thing. It was like local news and us. That's the story. And let me tell you, that is what you're gonna get here on our YouTube channel. Segments called What's in the Box? Here on YouTube. Yep, PJ Phil's Last Stand.
I feel like you have to find something, even when you do those jobs that you're like, I remember doing gigs because it's like you got to pay the bills.
These are the gigs I'm doing now. Yeah. This guy, drowning guy, his motivation is to not drown.
Yeah, I remember going to auditions for stuff that at least it's gotten a little better with the description for characters, but I used to always just go for like fat guy number 1, And it's like, give him a name. He's a human. It's like, you're right, Steve. Fat guy. Yeah. I get. You know what I mean? Like there are
and
just
you do so many of those, but now you're at a place where it's rich for you.
Yeah.
It's like,
and to show someone that you can be like a person of color, a person of size, any background, and be a lead and be a badass. You know what I mean? And like have this. Yeah. It's like this is the time. Thanks to like performers and artists who are breaking those doors open. In music and acting. Lizzo. Like I can't stop listening to Lizzo, and she's like breaking these like records. So.
We just bought that record.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, times have changed. Like, did you have a reference of how it used to be in the 80s and the 90s? How this young generation, how it doesn't really matter what you are. But it was a big part.
Yeah, I think I got the tail end of that because even when I was growing up, I remember having coaches who were, who meant well, who were just, looking out for me in a way. But they're like, questions they would bring up would be like, if you lost the weight, you could be a leading guy. Like those were questions and concerns they had. And I was like, can I be a leading guy at any size? They're like, that's not, and that was the reality that they were presenting to me. And then I said, why am I trying to build myself into a mold? Like when you're walking down the beach, you don't stop for the rocks that look like all the other rocks. You stop for that one rock that looks different from the rest. So then that's when I changed it up and I changed my mind and my mentality. I was like, fuck it. I don't know. Can I say fuck it?
Yeah, sure.
It was like, fuck it. I'm just going to change my mentality and I'm going to be me. And if I'm the right part and I'm the right person for the part, you're going to cast me. And if I'm not, then it wasn't meant for me. And that once you let go of that, you'd be surprised how much like hours of pain you're like saving yourself because, you know what I mean?
Acting? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just treat it like a lottery now. Did the number come up?
Yeah. And it's also
like I was perfect for that. God.
There's going to be roles that you're perfect for and you're not going to get.
You're not going to get them.
You're not going to get them. And
they're probably already cast. And
you're a complimentary audition.
There's a million reasons why you won't get it.
And then at the end of the day, I realized that I want to get the gig. Obviously, I want to book the job, but what I want to do is book the room. If you can book the room, then you'll make fans from the casting director, the producers in that room.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you get it, because then they'll get you for something else.
I made a career out of booking the room. Like the first, one of the first major films I did The Internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
And you were one of those guys, like one of the friends.
Yeah, which wasn't original in the script. I auditioned for a different role. I wasn't right for it. I knew I wasn't right for it.
Did they create something?
They create the role for me in the film. And then cut to after that film, there was a one-day guest star on a new Nickelodeon show that hadn't aired yet. It was episode 3, and they needed a cousin to be at a funeral, and he had 2 lines. And my agents were like, "You just did a movie. You shouldn't do that. You're above that." And I was like, "I collected cans, to get where I'm at." And 2 lines. Is he family? He's like, "Yeah." Well, that's the thing. Family never leaves.
Yeah.
You can never get rid of family. And he goes like, "I'll go in for the 2 line." I was like, "Okay, it's your Monday." And I was like, "Yep." I go in, book it. I get to set, the producers all meet me, they're all having a good time. 2 weeks later, they write a whole episode for my character, and then I recur on that show for 4 seasons.
Acting, man.
From an audition that I was told to not go into, and I made a career of that.
You've had all these like
major roles,
wine and cheese,
because I go with the flow, and then also know yourself and know what you're right for, and fight for what you're right for. Like I remember being in Vancouver shooting a movie, and they were auditioning for The Magicians, which is based on the books, and I knew I was like, I could be perfect for this part they're auditioning, and they shoot here, and they called the casting office in LA, and LA was like, yeah, put himself on tape. They're like, actually, they called back later, like, no, I think he's too young, and it's okay. We'll get him for something else. And we got options in LA. They're gonna do producer sessions in LA. And I was like, well, I already learned the lines, and I'm here in Vancouver, blah blah. And they're like, no, it's okay though. And I called my then manager, and I was like, can you get me into the office in Vancouver? Because by SAG regulations, they have to see people in Vancouver because it's SAG. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll call. And they called and they said, can Harvey come in to audition? Yeah, we love to meet him. He's in town. Let's go. So I go in, I book it out of Vancouver. So you just always have to go and know yourself and be like, if you want to fight for something,
you gotta hustle.
You gotta
too.
hustle.
You're hustling,
I'm
dude.
a hustler.
That's
and
hustle.
then like if I fall, at least I fall running towards what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's the way.
But then
I look
you're
at it.
running to something else.
And something else. So then it's fine, you know. So
and you
just,
got to be open to it.
Yeah.
But it's hard, like, you know, like how tough it is out there for some
Totally.
actors. And
Yeah,
you just get
especially
depressed
like
and-
people of color, like side, like it's like
Yeah.
it's hard and it's been you know, like the whole century that we've been doing, you know, film and the last like decades of television, that it's been really specific cookie cutter.
Well,
and
and that
changed
had to be done by people before you too, like to get those small.
Yeah, and then
Jim J. Bullock,
guys
like that, you know. I mean, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and people like who has to go through some shit to like let us at least have a better advantage and a better tomorrow.
It's a good. I even got a good agency to see me just because I was Asian.
Yeah,
You know, like stuff like that's happening.
yeah,
now.
and like you never know.
We
You know?
did it,
And also
Asian.
we're also, you know, putting the stepping stones and helping hopefully the people who are coming behind us. You know, the kids who are behind us who can look up and say that, oh, thanks to them, you know what I mean?
Well, really, in the end, the good thing about it is it's just that they can make money with it now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's a viable business.
Right.
And whether their
It's
intentions
profitable.
are good or not,
Right.
it's a business.
Yeah, it's been proven that, you know, why would you exclude a market?
You
that
can make money on Superbad with the big fat guy. And
Yeah.
then there's a ton of money there.
Yeah, and movies.
Unfortunately, that's what drives that stupid machine. But
But we're breaking the formula that had been placed and said that would never be broken. So that's the start, is to like chip away at that. And so we have started doing that. And, you know, sky's the limit now.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Great talking to you.
And we're going to go enjoy Martino Manor.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. That was different. There you go, from the vault. We're growing and we're figuring this out. So you may never see that segment again, or it might pop up again. I guess it depends how deep our archives are and our vault. I'll have to keep digging. But that's something we're trying out. PJ Phil's Last Stands from the vault. And Harvey's a great guy, super sweet guy. And we had some laughs. That's what it's about, isn't it? You laugh, I laugh. You guys are out there. I'm here in these mean streets. Yes, garbage cans. What show has garbage cans on the set? Sesame Street. Right, Sesame Street. Okay, well, this isn't Sesame Street, baby. This is PJ Phil's Last Stand. And I'm going to tell you right now, episode 6 is going to be a big one. It's Danny Smith from It's Alive. You know Danny Smith. Do you remember a show called Big Wolf on Campus? Do you know anything about huge celebrities? That's Danny Smith, and a good buddy. And we had a cool little bromance back in the 90s, which we'll touch on. And but thanks for watching. Thanks for being fans. Thanks for sticking with us. Tell your friends. We don't have money yet, so this is still like a rebel show. It won't be when I sell out. What do you think? You think I could get my Sexy and I Know It shirt, vintage, for free? Wardrobe costs money, baby, and I'm sexy, and I know it. Not many other people know it. I know it. I guess that's the most important. All right, episode 6 next week. Thanks for tuning in to PJ Phil's Last Stand. And I know it.